So you guys are obviously friends. That is evident, and it was so much fun watching you do your actors on actors conversation. Since you are friends, since you obviously have great chemistry and energy,
Thank you.
when are you working together?
Well, first of all, I feel like we have gone through a friends to lovers to enemies to lovers back to friends.
A journey.
Development.
We've had that arc and it's gonna keep going.
I know.
I'm like, if you think the ride is over,
Honey,
you're out of your mind.
buckle up.
We're getting marriage, divorced, then siblings. What? It's gonna go crazy.
I would love to be your first divorce and then be your sibling.
Perfect.
When are we working together? I don't know. I feel like I need to get my chops first before I work with Rachel. I feel like the worlds that she creates are so elevated and so dynamic and rich that I'm like, I just gotta like figure myself out first. I feel like I'm just out of
I feel
jail.
like we just need to get on an email thread.
We just get on an email
I'm like,
thread.
if we can just work. I'm like, if we can just get 11 to 20 people on an email thread. I'm like, your team is probably 11 people. I'm probably 11 people. We'll get them. That's 22. Okay.
Yep, good.
I can still do it. Whoa.
Whoa.
And then we'll work it out.
I know. It's just about one
it's
email
all about
thread.
one
Email
email
with 22
thread.
people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Bowen, how has life been since departing SNL?
Well, I was saying, it feels like I've just gotten out of an enclosed, windowless room, and I'm out in the sunlight.
And it's,
Wow.
does
And
it
it's
feel
wow.
like, oh my God, the sun is so bright? Like right now?
Totally. It feels
Like that
this-
adjustment period?
Definitely. But I mean, I miss it every day. I just saw Mary Ellen Matthews, who takes the photos. I've just caught up with people, and it's been a nice separation, and yet it's still very close, and I still miss it a great deal. But I am sort of like learning the rhythms of my life now that I'm like writing on other things and preparing for other things, and I'm genuinely very excited.
I'm curious, has it struck you, your impact that you had on that show, just in terms of representation? Because you spoke about that when you grew up, that you didn't see many people who looked like you in the comedy world.
I had to sort of like remove myself from any sort of personal stakes, because otherwise it would have just felt like insurmountable pressure.
Yeah. Of like, you have to represent
Right, everyone.
3-year-olds are going to be really upset
And I
if
feel
you
like-
don't crush tonight.
And the 3-year-olds are watching us now.
Yes, yeah.
No, they're watching Coco Melon
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Awesome
show.
If I make it on Coco Melon, then I'll really, really impact the youth. I'm ultimately incredibly grateful to Lauren and to everyone at that show and all of my collaborators and the friends I made there. And they used to tell this to people who got hired there. They were like, congratulations, and this is the thing you'll talk about for the rest of your life. And I'm like, understanding what that means. So I will get to an understanding at some point, but for now I'm just here with my friend.
Well, you are missed on the show.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Rachel, you have discussed that you would love to host SNL.
Would love.
Have there been any discussions?
I've discussed it.
We got to get on an email.
We got to let's get that email going.
Do each of you have a dream pairing that you would love to see on
Oh my
Actors on
gosh.
Actors?
Oh.
I love it when it's like, that person's with that person.
Yeah.
It would be amazing if it was like Brian Cox and JoJo Siwa.
I was literally thinking JoJo Siwa. But when you said Brian Cox, I said, or Bryan Cranston.
Or Bryan Cranston.
Another Brian. Bryan Cranston and JoJo Siwa.
For sure.
Brian Cox and Bryan Cranston, the two Bryans.
The two Bryans.
Brian.
JoJo Levesque from Leave Get Out and JoJo Siwa.
The two JoJos.
The two JoJos.
They should do a version where it's like just like you have
JoJo
to have
and
the
JoJo.
same first name.
Yeah.
They could do all the Rachels.
They could do all the
There's
Rachels.
So many Rachels.
But you're all good. All the
That's
Rachels
next
are very
season.
good.
I love all the Rachels.
Thank you guys for the idea.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Elizabeth.